hip hop, hip hop,
Yeah,
hip hop, hip
bars
hop,
is back.
hip hop,
Sam
hip
Ant,
hop,
oh
hip
God,
hop,
what's
hip
up with you?
hop.
I done watched them niggas do interview after interview. They not culture vultures, the culture something they been into. So if you never gave them a view, I recommend you do. Cause when they question guests, they message is not subliminal.
Shooting. So I want to be clear.
If you a rookie,
Just because he says something happened, he's apologized for his actions.
For the incident.
Yeah, he's not apologizing for the shooting. So I just kind of want to just be clear with that, even though you can, it's like one of those things you can say, you can lead and say, yeah, he probably is talking about that, but he didn't specifically say that. So I definitely want to clear that up though.
Yeah, thanks. And he's admitting guilt, but he ain't admitting
Right.
Maybe being a dickhead. Who knows?
Definitely. Well, sometimes people don't have to admit stuff because they actually got caught on tape saying, man, like this next story we're about to get to, it just looks bad. Now, Bow Wow, man, is pretty much, I don't know how they got the tape, but Bow Wow is a tape surfacing right now, and it's alleging that he actually punched his pregnant ex, Kiyomi Leslie, in the stomach while she was pregnant. I'm going to play this audio saying, man, I'll let you be the judge.
This man hit me in my stomach.
I saw. So I saw that with my own eyes.
No, like it's no way. Like
Not with my own eyes, but all four of my eyes. No, because they not have any type of concern for you or your well-being by doing that. He knows she's pregnant right here in the stomach. You know what I'm saying? Don't even she had a cop out, bro. Don't even say anything.
I wanna leave.
Do anything, say anything, and watch what I do to your shit.
I wanna
Watch what I do to
leave.
your shit. Your mama,
Okay.
your sister.
All right.
Watch what I do, bro. You gonna
Okay.
damn.
Ooh.
You can't say something. I'm telling you, bro.
You can't break something you ain't made.
If you try it,
You can't break. I ain't nobody, so let me leave. If I'm not nobody, so let me leave. I'm nobody, but you got me in this room like a fucking prisoner. I'm just trying to figure out. So why can't I leave?
Because you ain't busting a move, they take it around.
I gotta fight you to get out the room.
I guess so. Yeah, boy. I'm gonna burn you, boy. I'm gonna burn you, boy. You chose, boy. Yes, you chill, Judge. You better tell her, boy. Judge. Warn her now. You better stay on her side, boy. She don't know she fuck with, boy. I ain't them niggas you fuck with, boy. I'm very powerful in this shit. I'm telling you right now. If you won't work a day in your motherfucking life, fuck shit. I'm telling you right now, nigga. No, you think I'm playing? She think I'm playing. She think I'm playing. She think I'm playing like I would not take my whole 2019 to be just fuck over her life and everybody she involved with. She think it's a game, bro. You have a hard time, nigga. I'm trying to tell you right now, boy. You have a hard time. You won't have a hard time.
I just have a hard time.
You have a hard time, nigga. You have a hard time.
I'm
Just
ready
in my
to
room,
do
man. In my room.
I know you're not.
We can talk legally, oh God. We can talk
I don't
legally.
want to talk to you.
You just said I said right here we
I
can talk
don't want to
legally.
talk to you. Whatever you can say to me, you
Bro,
can say
ain't nobody
to me in the
want to fuck
room.
with you, bro.
I don't want nobody
I
to be
swear on the Bible, bro. I'm not
I
gonna
don't
fuck with you, bro.
care. You swear to God you would never hit me again.
Bro, I'm
But
gonna
you
sit right here. I'm gonna sit right here.
No.
I'm gonna sit right here and talk.
I don't care.
Hey, I'm telling you right
Please
now, y'all
don't
can
leave me
leave.
in this room, Eddie.
No, she don't want us. She want. Ain't nobody about to do
I
nothing to
don't
her.
want Eddie in the room.
We about to sit in the room as motherfuckers. Eddie, grab your blanket. Get a company. Good, bro. Dead good. You better grab a pillow and cover and come back. You can put the lock on the door. I ain't gonna move. I ain't gonna leave. What? What are we talking?
Very disturbing. They're saying, man, you hear Bow Wow, and the way the narrative is pretty much being painted is they're saying that he pretty much held her against her will in that bedroom and struck her in the stomach while she was pregnant.
Yeah.
How you feeling about this?
All right. So first off, as media, it's kind of tough to know that we're inside somebody's house and can hear things like that without their consent. It's tough because you never know what's going on in somebody's house. I think certain things we should not be privy to hearing. It's tough. You don't know what and who gets affected by shit like this. You don't know if kids are involved. You don't know if families are involved. You don't know what happens outside of the cameras, who gets affected by this shit being talked about, right? But now, let's get to what we heard. And the Bow Wow's always kind of had a questionable reputation. He was a very great childhood star, but as an adult, he's had a questionable reputation. And this shit just puts the icing on the cake. Certain things you don't do. Certain things you don't do. And first off, hitting a woman is some sucker shit. Defending yourself, defending your life against a threat to that is totally different than you being on some sucker shit. And we heard some sucker shit just now, to the highest regard. I don't know if he has little man syndrome. I don't know if he's been beat up. I don't know if it makes him feel stronger to go at women the way he did, but it's a sucker move nonetheless. I don't know how this situation will be handled. I don't know if she has any brothers. I don't know how that's going to be rectified, but I know certain people tried to put hands on my cousin or did successfully put hands on my cousin. And for some certain reasons, brother couldn't get touched, but for whatever reason, he knew he was fit to get touched. And if Bow Wow don't know he's about to get touched right now, there's a problem, because you can't be going at women like that. Now I'll let it go to you and take it from there.
Yeah, I think, man, first of all, he's a coward. Bow Wow's a coward. But I see it, this is the angle I kind of see the thing at, even though it's 100% wrong. And if he did really punch her in the stomach, he needs to be in prison for that. He needs to be locked up and his ass whipped, because that's some coward shit. The baby ain't do nothing to you.
Yeah,
I'm not condoning the hitting a woman either, but a baby, bro, it's in the stomach. But I see it as a dude that's hurt. I don't know what happened in the relationship, and even her, you can hear the hurt, in their voice. And I just think it's that a lot of times, especially in our type of communities, man, we wasn't really taught. And I'm not giving him no excuse or anything. I'm just saying, like, we wasn't really taught how to do this relationship thing, the right way. So instead of him, finding another way to, get out his anger or his hurt, he want to lock her in the room, you know what I mean, and start beating up on her. He takes the coward way out. So it's one of those things where it's like, the tape got out, but I'm thinking maybe she did it for safety. Maybe, she was like, I'm recording this nigga to show y'all how crazy this dude really is. And this ain't nothing new to us. We've heard about stuff like this, probably even seen. I've never been involved with a woman like this.
No.
I had to go back, but I know people who have. I've been in the house where stuff popped off. I know homeboys that got stabbed and all of that. So this ain't nothing new to us, but I know how this stuff ends up. And it always ends up very, very bad. So I'm glad that the tape came out. I'm glad, because we don't have the proof right now that he punched her. She's just saying that right now. We can't see that by hearing something. That's just the allegation right now. But it's going to make a lot of people believe it when they listen to the audio that we just heard, because of what they're hearing. He wants her to bang out. He wants her to fight. You know what I mean? He's trying to hold her in the bedroom. He said, we're going to be some sitting in the room ass niggas. So you want to hold her against her will because you want her to say something. You want to talk to her so bad. You got unresolved issues with her. You don't want to leave the room? That's crazy, man. That's only going to end up one way. You're going to end up scrapping.
It's going to get physical.
It's going to get physical, and we've seen it happen. So I'm just, even though I don't like Bow Wow like that, and, obviously he was a childhood star. We rock with him. Then I think his character is very questionable right now. I think they all need to get some help. And if he did punch that baby, he need to go to prison, bro. I'm just going to put it like that. You can't be hitting no kids, man.
And then get your ass whipped, like you said in the beginning. But let me take this a step further and talk about the woman, right? Because I don't know if you saw that video, the brother and the stepmom who had the girl. And
I seen that.
Okay.
In the garage or something like that?
Yeah. And, we grew up in a household. We got our asses whipped. You know what I'm saying? We got our asses whipped. We took some good ass whippings, some legendary ass whippings. But as we sit here as fathers now, we know that there's a difference of ways of going now. I done jabbed my son a few times, but I got a 5-year-old daughter, and something that I would never do, no matter how bad or something that she was as a child, take it to a level of violence like that, because I don't want to pre-program her to think that that's okay for her alpha male to do some shit like that. It's just something that I could never fucking do.
No doubt.
It's not right. So when I saw that, it bothered me. I heard the brother afterwards, and he was saying how, nobody's going to tell me how to discipline my child, blah, 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 blah. And I saw that before I actually saw the video. And I felt him on that. No one can tell you how to discipline your child, because these streets in this world will eat them alive and shoot them up and spit them the fuck out. You got to do what you have to do for survival of your babies. But then when I saw it, I'm like, dog, this is a little bit different. And this kind of goes, okay, these are the kind of women and how many other households deal with this kind of trauma and think that it's okay and acceptable for the fucking sucker to come in there and try to impose his will.
That's a good point.
By busting their ass and thinking that that's okay. It's not cool. We got to kind of start that shit young. And I don't know if taking an ass whipping is not the way to go in 2020. I know these kids are sensitive, but men in particular, fathers, watch how you discipline your daughters because you don't want them to carry no shit on.
Yeah.
Don't make it even feel like it's okay for a man to put their hands on them like that. That's just my opinion. I feel very strongly about it.
Yeah, and it's even people out there who even are against the whole beating thing in general.
Yeah.
They feel like it kind of goes back to the slavery thing, and they grabbing switches and belts and whooping your ass. And sometimes, I would say, like, if you're a father and you got a son, you get online, you might have to bust him in his fucking chest
rip him in his
every
chest
now
one
and
time.
again.
Yep.
Or girls, different. You got to find a different way. Like, even in that incident when they're in the garage, it's issues going on with that young girl. You can't be whooping her ass, even though I get it. Like, you feel like it or whatnot. Like, if she's disrespectful, you gotta, be an adult and find another way to deal with that. Maybe it's some type of outreach. Maybe something's going on in her life. She got some type of pain. Maybe she needs to do sports, like, something. Maybe she needs a mentor.
Yeah.
We gotta find different ways. We gotta stop, especially in our community, because it takes me back to the video the other day, Sam, man, with Candace Owens, and I seen that audio you was getting ready to play, and she pretty much said, Cardi B got a better chance getting killed by Offset. And it may be true that way, you know what I mean? Because people always say, you got a better chance of a black man killing you than a police officer kills you. That's why we got to take it upon ourselves, to have better outcomes. We can't always be fucking each other up.
Yeah.
We can't always go get the gun. We got to have more compassion and start loving ourselves even more. But, I'm not, saying as a cliche. I really mean it. But it's going to take some time, to get there. So definitely, man, that was a hell of a point, though.
Yeah, and I'm glad that we can kind of turn a segment and talking about a fucking sucker into at least a teaching moment. You know what I'm saying? Because we can't have our women out here thinking that that's acceptable. Can't have our men out here thinking that that's acceptable. And somewhere along the line, we both have to heal and deal with our trauma, man. So hopefully we can learn from this.
Yeah, definitely. But this episode is brought to you by Skiyo Clothing. You see it right there on the table there. Yeah, check him out, man. Type Skill in YouTube, Google, and he has his merchandise online available.